In this video, we provide a step-by-step demonstration for creating a goal in LMS. The main steps associated with creating a goal are to first pick the goal to which your goal aligns. Second, type in your goal details. Third, submit your goal to your supervisor's LMS task box. Fourth, if you want, have LMS email an approval request notification to your supervisor. You will go through these steps for each of your goals. Usually, by the time you are entering your goals into LMS, you have already talked with your supervisor and have general agreement on what your goals should be. You may have already drafted the goals, so you can just enter the goals into LMS or cut and paste from a Word document. To create a goal for yourself, you need to go to the Create Goals page. First, you start on the LMS homepage and put your cursor over the Performance tab. Under this tab, you will click the Performance Planning and Goal Setting link. This link will take you to the Goals homepage. From here, there are two ways to get to the Create Goals page. The first and most obvious way is to click the Create button right below the instructions. When you click this button, it takes you to the Align page. The Align page lists the various goals to which you might want to align your goal to. This list may include goals your supervisor entered for him or herself, your indirect manager's goals, any goals set for the department as a whole, and the goals that the county has set organization-wide. The purpose of aligning is to show how your work contributes to the success of your division, department, and ultimately the county in accomplishing our important public service mission. If you are not sure how your goal should align with the higher level goal, talk about it with your supervisor. Once you have his or her input, you will be able to review the list of goals and click the button next to the one you want. Then you click the Next button, which will take you to the Create Goals page. The other way to get to the Create Goals page is to go directly to the goal you want to align to under one of the Goal tabs. Most likely, you will be aligning to one of the goals of your supervisor, so you will open the Manager's Goals tab. This will bring up a list of goals your supervisor has entered for him or herself. When you see the goal you want to align to, you will click on the down arrow icon under Options on the far right. This launches the Create Goals page and aligns your new goal with this one of your supervisor's goals. So I'm Emily Employee and I'm an IT technician. My supervisor is Suzanne, who is an IT manager. An important part of my job is to keep the servers up and running, so I want to enter a goal about that. And I know that Suzanne has a goal about overall IT service quality and reliability. My goal is an important part of Suzanne achieving her goal, so I want to align to it. Here I see that the details from Suzanne's goal have been pulled in as a starting point for the details of my goal. As will be true for most, if not all, aligned goals, I will need to edit or delete these details so they reflect my focus and my role and not Suzanne's. First, I will go into the SMART Goal text box and type over the words from Suzanne's goal to enter my own SMART goal. On an ongoing basis, maintain the department file servers such that system availability is 99%. My goal is ongoing, so the default dates of the CPMS cycle, July 1, 2011 to June 30, 2012, are correct. I want my goal to be visible to others, so I check the Visibility checkbox. This is a performance goal, so I use the category drop-down menu to select Performance. I have 4 important action items to complete in order to accomplish my goal. I will type these in one at a time. Each time I will select the action item plus sign, which brings up the Add Action Items pop-up window. I type in my first action item. Run weekly diagnostic tests. The dates for each action item will default to the dates set for the goal. Since this is an ongoing action item, the default dates are correct and I don't need to change them. I need to give a weight to this action item to indicate how important it is in accomplishing my goal. But since my weights for all action items and targets must sum to 100%, I will wait until I have all of my items entered before I put in percents so I can more easily make sure everything adds up. I hit the Save button, which takes me back to the Create Goals page where I can add my other action items, which are to schedule and apply system patches following established shutdown procedure, deploy emergency patches as needed, keep users informed of maintenance schedule and potential impacts. I will click on the plus sign and repeat this process until I have typed in all of my action steps. Next, since my goal about server availability includes a numerical result of 99%, I think it will be helpful to enter a target as one of the ways to track progress toward achieving my goal. I click on the target plus sign, which brings up the Add Target pop-up window. I type in the description of this target, which is System Availability. I can ignore the Inherited from drop-down menu. This is a standard feature in LMS that generally is not relevant for the county uses. The dates for this target are the same as the dates for the goal, so I don't need to change them. This target is a percentage, so I select percent from the Type drop-down menu. For now, I leave the weight blank because it will set all of the weights for action items and targets to sum to 100%, and I can do this more easily right from the Create Goals page. I am not measuring the change in availability from year to year, but instead need to achieve 99% system availability every year. So each year is like starting from scratch, which means the starting value for my goal should be 0. So I entered 0 in for the starting value. As the goal statement says, the desired result is 99% uptime, so I enter 99% in for the target. This field only takes numbers, so I don't put the percent sign or any other notations. I'm done for now, so I click on the Save button. Please keep in mind that the use of targets is completely optional. If your goal does not have a numerical result, or you do not wish to include a target, you can skip this part of the Create Goals page. Since we left the weights blank, what I now see on the screen is a combined weight of 0% for my 4 action items and my target. If I try to submit the goal at this stage, I get an error message that the weights for all components must add up to 100%. I can now see all of the components I need to give weights to, and I can enter them directly into the weight text boxes. So how do I decide what weight to give each action item and the target? That is entirely up to me based on what I believe is the relative importance each component has in determining my progress toward accomplishing the goal. For me, the most important thing to measure in accomplishing this goal is the numerical result, 99% system availability. So I am going to give that a big weight of 80%. The action items are a helpful way for me to plan what I need to do to achieve the target, and I can see all 4 action items as equally necessary milestones toward the goal. So I am going to give each of them a weight of 5%. With the 80% weight given to the target, this makes a total weight of 100%. If my goal did not have a numerical target, I might choose to give each of the equally important action items a weight of 25%. In another video, when we go over how to update the status of your goals, we will see how the LMS uses these weights to come up with the overall percentage to communicate your progress on the goal. The last thing to do when creating a goal is to add any attachments that might further explain the goal or provide helpful background. There is a system shutdown procedure that provides more detail about the steps involved in applying patches, so this is relevant information to include. I click on the attachment plus sign, which brings up the Upload File pop-up window. I click Browse to access my files. I find and select the report, click Open, and then click Upload. I am now finished entering my goal, but let's suppose for a minute that I'm not ready to submit it just yet. I can hit the Save as Draft button and come back to this goal later in my LMS session, or I can log out and return some other time to continue working on this goal. Once it is saved, I will find my goal on the Goals homepage with the status of Draft. From here, I can open it up to work on it by clicking on the Edit icon. So now I am truly done with this goal. The last step is to click Submit. I can then go back to the Goals homepage and see that my newly entered goal is there with the status of Pending Approval. If I want LMS to send an email notification to my supervisor that there is a goal waiting for her approval, I will click the Send an Approval Request link. If I don't hit this link, my supervisor will not be notified, but will still see the approval of my goal as a task in her LMS inbox the next time she logs into LMS.